Hey everybody, this is Catherine from Yoked, where godly marriage is not just about quoting scripture, but it's about living scripture even before you get the ring. So if this is your first time joining us, for the month of April, we're talking about how travel can be used as a tool to be intentional about dating, to learn more about your partner in the dating process before you actually, get engaged and enter into covenant relationships. So the first week that we've been doing this, I talked about how the things that we learned about, my husband and I learned about each other as we traveled to the Bahamas and traveled to New Mexico. And today I'm going to talk about our travel to Las Vegas. So when my husband was turning 30, he had kind of given some hints that he wanted to go to Vegas. From our New Mexico trip, he said that he wanted to go see the Grand Canyon, and the part that he wanted to go see, Grand Canyon West, which has the skywalk, was closer to Las Vegas. So in order to, try to get him back there, I planned this huge surprise trip for us to go to Vegas for his 30th birthday. And his birthday is in November, so I'd actually started planning this trip in January of that year. Kept it from him almost the entire year. Like for 11 months, we were able to keep this secret from him, which to this day, I still don't understand how, because I told almost every single person that I knew and nobody told him. Like, it was amazing that they kept the secret from him. So anyway, we had the surprise party, and I remember I made this shirt for him that said, "What happens in Vegas might end up on Facebook later." And I presented the box to him and said, "There's a gift inside of here, and I'm going to ask you a question, and I need you to answer with a yes or a yes." To which he looked at me, looked at the box, shook the box, and I was like, "There's no jewelry in there. I'm not proposing to you." And he opened it up. He saw the shirt, and I said, "Will you join me for 7 days and 6 nights in Vegas?" And he was like, "What?" Yes. I had coordinated with his bosses to get him off of work for an entire week. Everybody he knew who was going on this vacation except him. The cake maker actually almost told him 10 minutes before the party that he was going on this trip, which I was like, no. So we ended up going to Vegas for a week. We had a blast. We got to go to the skywalk. We, did a couple of shows. We, did stuff on the strip. We rented a Corvette for the day and drove around the city with the top down. Like, it was just the best 30th birthday ever. But because this is about dating with intention and trying to find out things about your partner in the dating process, I wanted to share with you the one true thing that I learned about my husband on this trip. So we went to these shows, we did a bunch of stuff, and I learned about my husband, and it's still true to this day, 37 and a half years later, still true. I learned that my husband is a very go with the flow kind of person, especially for my personality, where I am very anxious and I worry a lot, and I'm always, concerned about what's going to happen and how is this going to turn out and what are we going to do now. My husband is very kind of go with the flow, and this is where we are in this moment, and this is how we're going to handle this situation, which completely balances out my personality. And let me tell you how I found this out. We went to this show, and me being naive, I'd never been to a Cirque du Soleil show in Vegas before. I was like, it's his birthday. I'm going to get front row seats, and we're just going to have a great time. We're going to see this show in the VIP section. If you've never been to a Cirque du Soleil show in Vegas, don't get seats in the front row. They will pull you out of your seat and put you in the show. We both ended up being in this show that night, and it was just, I was mortified. I'm like, I cannot believe this is happening. Like, I did not think this situation through. But he had so much fun. He was just kind of like, "Oh, okay, well, you want me to be in the show? I'm 30. Let's do this. I'm in the show." And just kind of seeing him, kind of jump in and be totally okay with, being put on the spot and having to just kind of do whatever he needed to do in the moment was really, it was something that I needed as a person, because it's hard, not saying that you can't do it, but when you have two people who are worriers in a situation or in a relationship, things can go a little bit slower, you know. It's really good to have someone who kind of balances out your personality, so that while I'm, you know, still to this day, you know, a big worrier and always, you know, kind of concerned about, okay, what are we going to do now? How are we going to handle this? And trying to think, you know, far into the future when the future hasn't happened yet. My husband is very much so, this is where we are. This is what we need to do in this moment to get to where we want to go. But don't worry about the future. That hasn't come yet. We're going to worry about this moment. So that was the one thing that I learned about him, that he's a very go with the flow person, and it has done us very well in our marriage, because there have been situations where even when he was out of work for 9 months, it was a very stressful situation, but we worked through it. He helped to calm down my anxiety and say, okay, I'm still going to be looking for work, but while I'm in this season, you know, this is what I want to do. Are you okay with this? Can we work together and make this situation better and make it through the situation? So I wanted to hop on really quickly and tell you that about my husband, because I really, to this day, I love that about him. Even when I get a little frustrated because I'm all over the place and I need him to be as, you know, excited about something that I am, he's still very go with the flow, very, you know, calm, cool, and collect. And that's something that I definitely needed in my life, and we definitely needed in our marriage. So your assignment, I'm giving you an assignment, even if it's just going out in your local city, go out, go on a date, travel somewhere, and learn more about your partner. All right, you guys have a good one. I'll talk to you later. Bye.